Okay, here we are in the elevator shot. Yes. The
Yes.
beautiful elevator shot. Um, I love this shot in particularly because it was a shot that didn't kill us. And we were able to get it done
Nice point.
pretty quickly. Yeah, I think that was one thing I really appreciated about this shot, and I always will be appreciative of it. Is that it didn't kill us, and it was something that we were able to get done. And it was also kind of iconic. It was kind of, I think you put this in the edit, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Why did you put that in there? And then I think it just kind of made sense. And as we edited further and we kind of got to a good place, I think it made sense because there was a lot of blinking lights and
Yes,
buttons that
blinking
were
lights.
happening. Yeah, and we had to be very selective about our shots. Remember, we didn't want to use humans. We didn't want to put characters in there. We didn't want to do all
Mm,
that kind of stuff because that's just
mm.
a whole different thing. So we wanted to do iconic like symbolisms and stuff. And yeah, the shot kind of went together really, really well. And really, I think it's great because again, it's like not heavy on renders. It's not heavy on resources. It's not heavy on modeling. It's not that I'm lazy. I just there's so many shots. The original cut was 85 shots we were supposed to do. I think the final shot. I think we had like close to 45, 50 shots. I
Yeah.
think I can't remember about 50 shots. I think, but yeah. And these are one shot that's cut to two. There's a close and there's a close up shot and a medium shot basically. But yeah, talk a little bit about some of the modeling. So the modeling again was done in Fusion in the beginning, and I'm sure some of you guys that are like amazing poly modeling guys, you're probably like, why did you use that? Sorry,
That's true.
it's
That's
just
yes.
it's what I used, and I think you know the thing is that it's quite annoying when people think that they know the right way to do something and they're like, this is the best way. It's like, no, the right way is to get it done. there's there's no
Yes.
like that is the right way. The right way is just getting it done. And
Exactly.
yeah, and it's whatever you use and whatever you work with and stuff too. So the approach is the same for this as the other things. Is I would set the canvas, and it's a little bit off here, but I had to align it, and the drawing itself isn't set to perfection. Obviously, it's got moving, like there's lots of weird stuff happening in the drawing. So when you appropriate these things from a drawing into 3D, you have to be cautious of where you break the rules and where you add the rules and these imperfections. And I think if I were to, when you cross the line from hand drawn to CGI, if I hadn't moved these buttons randomly, it would just feel weird. If I matched this completely, I think it would just feel weird, like there was something wrong. So
Hmm.
I think being more rigid and real world based, I think it kind of helped, and that was a part of trying to pay homage to it. Was kind of difficult, but I think it worked out pretty well. So, but yeah, that's kind of the modeling process. The modeling went pretty quickly. At this point, I had modeled the door and a couple other things, and so I was like, yeah, the elevator, that's easy. I'll do that now. And then like an hour later or something, pretty quickly, like you just make these things, you just duplicate them and flip them. You make one of these, and then you just move them along basically. And I could have just made them all in pieces, kind of like I kit bashed that one door shot together through variable pieces that we just kind of put together, almost like Legos or something. I
Hmm.
should have done that, but I didn't because I wanted to finish it in here, and then I then brought it into Cinema. And if I open up the Cinema file, I could talk a little bit about the texturing and putting all this stuff together because yeah, the texturing is quite heavy, right? But
Yeah.
you had a nice cheat that you used, which is good.
Yeah. I used the door shots texture and copy to this one because they are sharing the same base material. It's like a metal. So I changed the color and added more details to it. So basically, you can see from the texturing window, there are lots of mixed textures, but it's okay. I just layer
Yeah.
by layer, layer by layer. So it's adding adding details together.
Yeah, here they are. Here's the black painted metal, the numbers and lights, the green painted metal, and then stuff that didn't have a layer. I need to use layers more. I don't use layers enough. I think it really helps, especially when you start to
Yeah.
have this many things. I need to get used to making things in layers too. There's so many things about this program that I know that would like be amazing for me to use, but I don't. Not because I don't want to. It's just because there's only so much time in the day to learn so many things. But I love this program, and I really love the process of making things in it. It's just usually it's just really enjoyable process. Let's look at these materials here. Awesome. So it looks like you have like two materials. One's a mix that goes into a final mix material,
Yeah.
and the material we're looking at right now was probably my favorite material in the shot, which is this stuff right here, this
The black
black
stuff.
material. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think it almost looks photoreal, but obviously slightly augmented to fit the world of Akira, which is really cool. But yeah, let's look further into these files. So like you have a bass noise here, and then looks like there's a texture here. Let's move what's hiding behind here.
Ah,
And there it is. Yeah, so there's like some cool, interesting textures that are happening. It'd be so cool if you could like zoom in and see these a little better. You kind of can here, but yeah, these are cool. And then this texture right here. This is that scratch that you're seeing right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's how I would do it. Basically, I would kind of see, I would look at what you were doing, and I would go through here and kind of go, okay, well, this does that, and this does this one, and that's the roughness, and then this. And so if I was looking at something, I go, oh, I'm going to adjust this slightly here or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I would kind of figure out how to navigate your textures. And it was kind of like, yeah, like, like a detective, so like
Yes.
a crime scene. You had created a crime. And I go through and try to figure out, oh, okay, like, how do I move this and augment this so that it does whatever, I have a vision of what a texture is in my head and constantly shifting it and changing it till it gets to where it needs to be. But yeah, all in all, this one's not that bad actually. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
one part, but let's look
I
at
think
maybe this one.
the most complicated is a good ring one, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not too
it's
bad.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's not bad
okay.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's
Ha ha
see.
ha. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's very clean actually. That's awesome. Let's see, select the hierarchy, move this over here. But yeah, that's not bad at all. And use a lot of noise, which is cool, and use it kind of
Mm.
like to affect the edges and stuff, which is great.
Yes.
And splitting the two between the two as well. So yeah, texturing itself is just such an art form too. And if you notice here too, again, this is all procedural, kind of like using, like the cube based. Let's see if I
Yeah.
can find like
Yeah.
this base.
Cubic projection.
Yeah, so like here it is. UV.
Ah,
Yeah,
UV.
you're using UV map on this one.
Uh, Basically, it's cubic because the shape is a cube. So
Exactly. But yeah, normally what we're talking about is you would switch this to cubic, and then what you would do is you would just adjust the tiling right here.
yeah.
See how I changed it here, and then it's like not representing properly, so I'll put it back to UV mapping.
That's
So
okay.
yeah, it's fine. Again, we're not the best at this stuff. But we love it, and we're trying, and we learn, So
Hmm.
and we learn as we go, and we teach one another how to get better. And when we learn off the internet, and it's a lot of fun, and then we just get, we every day we try to suck a little bit less. So yeah. Yeah, this is one of the original shots, I think, too, and I think we ended up
Mm.
switching it to go a little bit
Yeah.
higher up, but because I think it wasn't when we cut between the two shots, it was misaligned. It felt weird, so
Hmm.
we shifted it the camera a little bit more. This is let's see this one. There's so many cool things because so much of this stuff is like live and it's like like that right there. If I was with my camera and I was out taking photographs, I would take a photograph of this and be like, oh, that's cool. So let's see. And this is one thing I absolutely love about Cinema 4D and Octane is that you can just do this kind of stuff. Like you can basically take a fake photograph,
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and it looks cool, So many times I was like, man, why don't we just change the angle here or try something else? But I'm like, no, we got to keep true to the source material. We got to be true to it so we don't piss people off, So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the elevator. I think that kind of summarizes it. Probably texture
Yeah.
this a little better. It's a little bit low res on there, but yeah, we'll keep playing with this a little bit. It's because it's a UV map on there. We got to change that, but oh well. Never, it's never done. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah, and seeing all the different shots and stuff too, and the slight animation, which is I think we just would do like subtle push-ins, and then the lights itself on the buttons would illuminate slightly too, which is cool. So just matching with the anime. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, there it is. Elevator, fancy elevator, Akira
I
elevator.
see.
Yes, very fancy, fancy elevator. It's kind of interesting too how we end on 6 in this shot, and how I think this shot ends like at 4 or something like that too, which is cool. So yeah, endless. And if you look at the building that they're in, it's so big. I can't imagine that there's like actually digits. It's like it's got to go. That building looked like it had like 1,000 stories that they were
Uh-huh.
in. If you remember that huge building, we were supposed to do that shot too, the big temple-looking building,
Uh-huh.
which is where
Yeah.
he's in the hospital. But yeah, ended up not doing it. But yeah, that was yeah, it was a lot of work, a lot of work. So,
Yeah.
but
But it's beautiful. It's
yeah,
great.
yes, I'm very happy with it. I think we did a great job. So awesome. And I think that's it. Is there anything else we should
Yeah.
talk about with this, or are we good?
Yeah, good. Let's move to another shot.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So let's move into the next one. Okay. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. See you guys.